In 2023, Sokpop hit an impressive milestone, 100 games. You can't help but be impressed by such a huge accomplishment. In the last few years, Sokpop have slowed down their game releases and put out projects that have more time to develop. Less games, but more experiences with higher quality. Since hitting the 100 game milestone, Sokpop has only released 2 games, Frog's Adventure and Mistward, and sadly, I can't play Mistward at this time because it's only on PC. So my year-end review would be only 2 games, Sockfest and Frog's Adventure. Luckily, they're both great games, and I love the point-and-click adventure system, so I'll give them both high marks. We can just say this year's ranking is a tie. In lieu of the traditional yearly video, I'll be giving you my top 10 Sokpop games of all time. I figured this would be a good way to show people the progress they've made as a team, and to show newcomers the value of the games that they've released. As always, this is based on my personal taste. I know for a fact that several of their most popular games will not be here, and that several of their lower rated games ended up being my favorites, so take everything I say with a grain of salt. Also, some of these may be in different orders from previous lists, so don't be surprised if a game I ranked lower shows up above the others. Before I start the list, I do want to give credit to some of their more popular titles that didn't gel with me purely by the type of game they were. Games like Broom, Ginseng Hero, and White Lavender are excellent and challenging 3D sword fighting games, and while they were too tough for me, those looking for a challenge who like Souls-like games would appreciate them. Sunset Kingdom, Pyramida, and Similand were world-building RPGs that played and looked great, and to change things up, they also made Stacklands, which is a beautiful building concept that was turned into a card game. It even got its own DLC. Really, if you prefer any genre of game, there's a good chance that Sokpop has made something worth your time playing. Alright, now it's on to my personal list, and to start, I'm going to give some honorable mentions. I've got 3. Kraken's Curse is an awesome sailing adventure that doesn't quite make my list, mainly just because I didn't play enough of it. Blue Drifter might be my favorite game based on aesthetics and graphics. I've never played something that gave off such a sci-fi dystopia vibes. And last we have Kart Kids, which probably would have gotten higher on the list if it had more than one track. It's just good chaotic racing fun. Alright, starting off at number 10, we have Aaron's Bike Trip. Yes, this is nowhere near a traditional game. Yes, this is basically a travel slideshow with minimal interaction. And yes, I loved it. I would never have thought of this concept of presenting photos as a game, but they did such a great job with it. I'm all about utilizing games to give tours of areas that others might not be able to visit, and this shows just how easily that can be done. This game gives me hope for the future of interactive virtual tourism. At 9, we have Dino Game. One of the earliest creations of the Sokpop team, this game's simple gameplay and adorable style give it all the points in my book. Who wouldn't love the concept of befriending dinosaurs to help you escape an unfamiliar planet? Join me in thanking the Longnecks for such an excellent experience. At number 8, we have Cappy Hockey. Digital air hockey often feels a bit jumpy. It's hard to make a digital version of the game that already feels like it moves too fast in real life. Sure, the animals are playing regular hockey, but it feels more like a tabletop game, so I count it as air hockey. Also, you definitely get extra credit points from me when you use a capybara. That's just always a win. Number 7 is Helionaut. Now we're getting into the bigger adventures. Helionaut is a neat experience flying from planet to planet, defeating aliens and collecting resources. Felt like I didn't even scratch the surface of this game, and I hope one day to return to it. I love the open world concept, and just pointing and flying in whatever direction I wanted gave me such an itch to explore the whole universe. Number 6 is Disc Party. I wouldn't have expected a sports game to be in my top 10, but the playability of this game works really nicely. The peaceful, colorful look of the world gives a nice background to playing a few games of disc golf without a care in the world. Halfway there, at number 5 we have Spring Blades. I know I have a lot more to play before finishing this, but the experience I got in my first video was enough to hook me. Turn-based strategy can be fun, though I usually lose interest. Having a wide variety of enemies and an adorable cardboard cutout aesthetic helps hold my interest and makes me want to play a lot more. Just missing the podium at 4th, we have Socko Loco. It's been a while since I played this, but I still remember the feeling of excitement I got when I finally got a grip on how to play this game effectively. Solving the puzzles just clicks when you figure it out. Making the trains run efficiently feels so satisfying. I only played a smaller scale version, but if you feel like a train-based puzzle game is right up your alley, you may well look at the deluxe version. Alright, top 3. Let the arguments commence. In 3rd place we have Wild 9. This game blew me away. A top-down sci-fi western shooter didn't seem like something I would want to play. but man, it hooked me with tight gameplay, creative enemies, and riding across the plains on hoverbikes. The harsh pink color was the only thing that kept me from ranking it higher, but otherwise this is an excellent experience and it plays so well. In second place, I'm choosing Climb. This is a relatively small, simple concept, but I love games that feature climbing as a primary motion. Making my way across rooftops in the world was lots of fun. I love seeing everything shrink around me as I climbed higher and higher. Sure, most games only feature a little bit of climbing, but I love it when it's the main focus. Now for my number one, and I know you are all going to be scratching your heads or yelling at me in the comments, but for me, it's Passenger Seat. Yes, the game about driving around a windy countryside and trying to figure out a map to get you home. It doesn't seem like much, but quiet, introspective driving games are exactly my cup of tea. I love the somber radio, the crackling fires, and the pitter-patter of the rain on the hood, the changing world around me filled with empty deserts and lush forests, and of course the ability to use the map to figure out your way home. I haven't used a real map in years. There's something so weirdly nostalgic about this experience. I played this game before I even knew what Sokpop was, and it still sticks with me. So that's my top 10. Sokpop has consistently given me sets of games to play every week for a long time. Am I sad that I won't be able to play as many now? Yeah, but I've loved seeing the team progress and watching them hone their skills. I will be happy to continue supporting them for as long as they want to keep making games. If you also want to support them, you can join their Patreon. If you've never played a Sokpop game, joining their Patreon is an easy way to get a taste of their games, as they give you one free game a month. You can also buy all their games individually, though they also have bundles of different seasons or different groupings based on genre. Out of the 100 games, there's no way you won't find something to enjoy. I hope you enjoyed this trip down memory lane. Next year, we'll see what happens, but I'm still looking forward to playing anything that Sokpop creates. Thank you all for watching, I'll see you next time.